But I was reading Exodus 20. I was trying to read the whole chapter, but I stopped on verses 4, 5, and 6. And it goes back to worship. It goes back to curses, generational curses, and blessings. So in 4, 5, and 6, it says something to the effect of, don't bow down, don't make idols of anything, and do not bow down to them. That's verse 5. Don't bow down to them and do not worship them. So the bow down is like prostrating yourself to them, and the worship is in worship as in service, working for those things. Because I will visit the iniquity of the fathers upon the children to the third and fourth generation of those who hate me. But, this is verse 6 now, I will show mercy up to 1,000 generations to those who love me and keep my commandments. So this goes back to that scripture in James 4, where it talks about making yourself an enemy of God by being a friend of the world. You would make yourself an enemy of God. Um, in that verse, the word hate, I can't remember what the Hebrew word was for. You're going to have to go look it up. That's in verse 5, Exodus 20, verse 5. But that word hate there, means to be hateful, to be a hater, to be an enemy. That's what it means to be an enemy in that verse. So your family, so if I say it's your grandfather who makes himself an enemy of God by working for idols, things that are not most high, that are not Yahuwah. He makes himself an enemy of Yahuwah by putting himself in service and bowing down to that thing and putting that thing as an authority over him. He makes himself an enemy of Yah, of God. When you make yourself an enemy of Yah, that means you hate him. And the reason why it means that you hate him, because it means that you are not keeping his commandments. If we don't keep his commandments, automatically that puts us in the position of a hater, which is an enemy of Yah. Automatically, we are in the position of a hater. We are an enemy of Yahuwah. Yeah. Now, when we do that, our iniquity, first and foremost, the iniquity of making an idol, making something else God and authority in our lives other than Most High Yahuwah, that is an iniquity. And he said he's jealous over that. But if we do that, that means we're not keeping any of his other commandments. So those are iniquities too, because an iniquity is something we do on a consistent basis and a daily basis. It's a habit. So by doing that iniquity, he's going to visit the consequences. By doing those things, by doing those iniquities, those consistent things that are against his commandments and becoming his enemy, he is going to visit those things, the consequences, on our children, on their children, and on their children's children, and on their children's children's children. That's the fourth generation. That is a generational curse right there. And it went down to 4 generations. And the crazy thing about that is it can be renewed. So now all you need is the next father to make another idol or continue in that idol and do the same thing. And that will go on to the next 4 generations. That curse, whatever that curse that comes with that is, that's a generational curse there. But He shows mercy up to 1,000 generations. Up to 1,000 generations to those who love him and keep his commandments. Those two things are in the same sentence. And I believe it's in John where he says, if you love me, you will keep my commandments. So keeping his commandments means that we love him. You know, as kids, we used to say, if you're my friend, you're going to do it for me. Pretty much that's what Jesus said. That's what Yahusha said. If you my friend, you're going to do what I say. Why would I say that? How do I know that? Because I looked up the word love, and it's ahab. Ahab, I think is how it's pronounced. Ahab. But the B is pronounced like a V for victory is mine. And ahab. I believe is how that's pronounced, but it means love. It can mean love in every type of sense you can think of it. Human love, love between friends, love between a woman, man and a woman, in a sexual way, in a platonic way, whatever, but it's also love for God. It's the love that God has towards men, humans, but it also means to be a friend. So he used the word hate, which makes you an enemy, and he used the word love, which makes you a friend. If you are my friend, you're going to do what I say. And if you do what I say, I'm going to show you mercy, which means I'm going to be good to you. Hesed, I believe, is the word for mercy, the Hebrew word, hesed. And it means I'm going to be good to you. I'm going to be faithful to you. I'm going to show you kindness all the way into 1,000 generations of your family.